Good morning, Mr. Lewis. This is Keith Ann.
Good morning, Keith Ann. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Awesome.
And you?
Blessed and highly favored.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis. This is Kayla.
Good morning, Kayla. And how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored. All right, we're at it, so let's go ahead and jump off. There's a lot to talk about, and it's a lot in the politics department. Unfortunately, I gotta share some things with you so that you know where to look and how to look to make your own decisions as to what is currently going on. And that's for any time, not just now. So the first thing you want to look at is where is your mindset as to what the current situation is. So that could be, well, for this discussion is always going to be finance. There are some things being offered, not 100% yet, but things are being offered in the onset of the change of everyone's currency. So uh, it's almost like you have to get an understanding of what exactly is going to happen. So what is being offered is one, I was watching a video yesterday, not 100% sure because I couldn't really investigate it. And I did not hear where he said, I'm speaking of President Trump, that everyone's credit is going to be restored. Now, that is a challenge in itself. Just off the top, the only way to really restore credit, if you read between the lines, is that the actual credit base is no longer available or no longer pending. Now, most would see that as, oh, he's going to fix our credit. But see, you have to look a little deeper. You can't just fix credit. It requires money or monetary exchange from you to the creditor, whoever it is you owe. It just doesn't go away. Unless, now this is the part where you have to read between the lines. And what I mean by that is look into what is being said, what is the actual big picture. So in order for him to fix everybody's credit would mean that he would have to get rid of the debt. Now that is one of the things that is coming. It's called NESARA. I do believe I asked you to look that up a long time ago when we first were doing the exchanges and the evolution of things, but we're going to put it on for next week anyway. Because I'm going to go over a few things right now. So in order for him to get rid of everyone's debt or fix everybody's credit, he has to get rid of everyone's debt. Now, with that move, that means everything is zeroed out. That means whatever bills you had, bills that you're paying, college tuition, whatever, it all gets zeroed out. Now, you also heard, this is the second offer, people talking about it, which is the Doge or Trump refund. They haven't named it yet. They have put it on the table that all the American people deserve some of those funds back that we paid into to incite war, to just all kinds of crazy things that if you're watching, and I got 2 YouTube channels to share with you just to watch, not saying that they're giving all 100% truth. This is just these 2 guys that I listened to give you a little bit more information. Some of it's bias, but at least you have a little bit of knowledge of what's being said and what's going on. Now, that does not mean, like I said, that they have all the truth and all the stuff right. You still want to do your own due diligence. Always do due diligence on anything that you would even consider doing, going to a school, taking a course, a career path, whether or not to go out with this person, whether or not to, dress a certain way. You have to do due diligence on everything. Okay? That's your responsibility as a citizen. Okay? You have to do due diligence. Check it out thoroughly. Okay? The second thing, like I said, is going to be basically setting your monetary piece coming back. Now, is it a one-time thing? Is it a every 2 months thing? Is it a once a year thing? Don't know yet. It's being floated. It's being talked about for all the money or debt instruments that they have squandered off, stuck in different places, sent to different countries and get a kickback for just pure theft, to fraud with the Social Security payments going to people. All these monetary instruments were taken from us. Every hour that you work, every check that you make, every payment that you made, taxes, all the taxes were collected up and sent to other people, other countries. Back to politica. I don't pick one side or the other. Both of them, Democrat, Republican, whatever you want to call it, it's all garbage. Okay, a lot of these people say one thing, do another. That's why you do due diligence. I don't care if it's your friend you've known for 13, 14 years. You knew him in first grade. You still don't know that person, and you never will. People don't tell the truth. It's unfortunate, but it's a fact that you have to always keep right here. All right? Don't let it go past the ear. Right here. So the taxes that have been collected over the years, and a lot of them have gone everywhere but back to us. So that's what is being done. They're doing the checking, due diligence, tracing money. That's what, what's his name? Elon Musk is doing with all of the companies and what have you. So a lot of money has been found. So they have to do something with it. And the honorable thing to do with it is give it back to us. That's all there is to it. Shouldn't be a tax like that we have gone through anyway. It's all fraud and illegal. But that's kind of how they played the game. All right. So that's the second part. So first is NESARA. Second part is putting money back into your country. If you notice that President Trump has said, make America great again. At one time it was, even with all the stealing going on. Could you imagine how much more powerful we would have been in those days of good if they were doing the right thing? And they weren't. The stealing And fraud has been going on for millennia. It's not just happening because President Trump and Elon Musk are checking things. It's been going on. Okay, this is nothing new. The new part is it's being exposed, like he said he was going to do. The third thing. Now, the third thing is kind of part of the second thing. The third thing is that you have to be reinstated financially, given real money. Now, this is the part where you guys come in because of the simple fact you are our future. So if I don't do anything on this call ever, it is to put on your hearts that your job has just begun. It's just begun. And I'm not talking about employment. I'm talking about as a participating citizen, a productive individual that's going to do great things in the future, because you will have a balanced, level foundation to stand on, not some rickety rockety. You might make some money over here, you might not. If you don't do this, you don't get that. It should be solid, right? So you can go forward. And the only way to be solid is to know where all the rickettiness, if that's a word, came from, which is now being exposed. Those three things, and the way they're going to do that, like I said, is reestablish you as young adults, young people, with not only a clean slate of real money, but the opportunity to pursue whatever it is that you choose to pursue and not be held back because of the color of your skin or where you came from, all that. A lot of the stuff that was put up because of these two sides over the years, namely a few things that really, really, really get on the left side of me, which is this whole identity thing. Okay, I'm not even going to go past that word because it really upsets me that we have allowed ourselves to be this kind of country. But you know where I'm going with that. We're all the way to the left, no understanding of the core laws and guidance that my parents gave me. If I, when I look at young people today, not you guys, but you know who I'm talking about, the ones standing on the corner or the ones coming in the store with their pants down to their thighs, those guys, those people. And it's both male and female doing it now. But the mindset of these individuals is trash, pure trash. They have no worth. They have no guidance, and they're not going to do anything but tear up their own future. Okay, because they're going to wind up going down that dark alley that I'm trying to keep all the young people that I know away from. Okay, that dark alley is nothing but pure death, one way or another. Okay, so having a foundation in finances is important, not only because it's what's going to keep you, but it's also going to help your seniors live out the rest of their lives in a better stance, I'll put it. Because every day is a learning day, every day, even the seniors. So you have to read between the lines. What he's basically telling you is going to reset the entire country. It has to happen because the finances to which are currently in place are trash. I've gone over this many times with you, so you should be fully aware of what I mean when I say trash. It has no value. It has no standing legally. It is non-accepted almost everywhere in the world. outside of black markets. They don't care who pays. But upstanding countries don't want our money because they know it's worthless. Fourth, and then the most important one, is that it is a representation of debt. It doesn't pay for anything. It can't. Okay, so you have to get that part. And the part of NESARA means that the current paper that we hand over the counter is going to be replaced. That's an exchange. I talked about this long before I started this class, but I made a statement, I think it was 2012, where I said that the first exchange when everything happens is going to be your own money. Okay? So an exchange means, or reevaluation, RV, is where the currency of a country is reset. Okay, that means that whatever the other stuff was, which we will call fiat, no longer has a standing. And they have to come up with a new piece of paper that has a representation of value. Okay, I'll say it like this. I'll put it like this. What we have now is just like this, paper towel. Wipe your nose with it, wipe your mouth, because that's what it is. It's worthless. The paper they're coming with, I'll just use this. Even a little certificate, isn't that cute? It'll be almost like that. The new stuff will have a certificate. It'll be a certificate of value. It'll have what is backing it, which would be silver, gold, commodities of the country, whatever's in the ground. Those things have a value. Okay, and it's measured by what it is. So silver is what, 30 something dollars an ounce. Gold is almost 3,000, 26 or 2,700 an ounce. So those values are backing or going to back the new paper. All right, the new paper will be just like this. It'll actually mean something because it'll have a value. The stuff we have now is this. Nothing, right? So that's the first move in NESARA. The second move in NESARA is to get rid of all of those politicians over there in DC. All of it. All of it, including the president. He would have to step down because NESARA says that you don't need one person, and I've talked about this before, to run an entire country. He can't be everywhere. It's impossible. There's not enough TV cameras to see everywhere in the United States for one person. It's impossible. Even all the way down to the governor or the mayor of your town or city. He can't see every street, every block, because there's people being killed on all of them in every city. So if he could see it, that death would not happen, correct? Exactly. So NESARA will say that you are able to protect yourself. That means everybody will be packing. Yeah, it may increase the death roll, but again, at least it won't be a one-sided thing, and people will think twice before they run up on somebody. Okay? A lot of these rules and laws that we're under currently are going to disappear. They're going to go from statute law, which is British law, back to common law, which is law of the land. Two different things. Okay, a lot of the stuff that we're under statute law is why we have credit reporting, why we have banks, why we have insurance companies, why we have all this stuff that we're paying for and getting nothing from it. You're steady going down and they're going up. You're going down because you're paying everybody. Okay, so this is going to be a course. I mean, not this one, but the process of NESARA is not a flip of the switch and everything just changes. No, it's going to take a while. but you have to understand what it is. And your finances are built into all of these, all of it. Okay. So just wanted to put that out at the end of the call. I'm going to give you the two guys I'd like you to go look at, or at least watch a couple of their videos just to get an understanding. And I got some more, but I want to let you guys go ahead and do your homework for this week. So I'll be quiet. You should be able to unmute.
Mr. Lewis, can I go first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so chivalry. Oh gosh, chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yes, thank you. Chivalry is a code of conduct that emphasizes honor, respect, courage, and protecting others, especially those who are vulnerable. It comes from the medieval knights, but applies to good behavior today. For example, during a storm, a person notices an elderly neighbor struggling to carry her groceries in, her supplies, and making sure she's prepared. And without being asked, they run over and help her carry the bags in, make sure she's safe, locked inside, and she doesn't get hurt by the storm. And they don't expect a reward, they just do the right thing. Bank. A bank is a financial institution where people can deposit, withdraw, and save money. Banks also provide loans and other financial services. For example, Sarah wants to, or let me use myself. Let's say I want to save up for a new bike. And I deposit my birthday money into a bank account. This way, my money stays safe and I can withdraw it when I have enough money. Deposits. Deposits are money that is placed in a bank account for safekeeping for future use. For example, Jake earns $20 for mowing lawns and takes it to the bank and puts it into his savings account. This deposit helps him save up for a new video game or a new bike, whichever one he wants. And carry math, probably my favorite one. Carry math is carrying a step in addition. Is a step in. Okay, let me restart. Carry math is a step in addition where if a sum in one place has a value is 10 or more, the value of 10 or more, you move the extra value to the next place. This helps keeps numbers organized and makes sure the math is done correctly. For example, if you add 27 to 68 in the ones place, 7 plus 8, which is 15. Since 15 is more than 9, you keep the 5, place the in the ones place, and carry the 1 over to the tens place. In the tens place is 2 plus 6 equals 8. Then add the 1 you carried over, that makes 9. So 27 plus 68 is 95. And that's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lewis, can I go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, chivalry is the behavior that exudes.
Oh, pause for a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
The word is chivalry.
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 Okay, chivalry is behavior that exudes honor, kindness, and respect from a man to a woman. This word comes from the French word chivalry, meaning knight. It originated in the 11th and 12th century as a code of honor or conduct for knights during war and after. In the Middle Ages, chivalry was knights in shining armor rescuing damsels in distress, and now it's defined as holding doors open and giving up a seat and having politeness and manners. Bank is a financial institution that accepts investors' money as deposits and uses that money to give out loans. It could also be a tangent or a ledger, cold storage, and stuff like that. Deposits is money that people give to the banks in hopes to let it grow in interest or keep it there for safekeeping. People who deposit money into an account can get their money out anytime or at an agreed upon time between the depositor and the bank. Deposit as a down payment is securing a sale or product. It is not the total cost, but a percentage of the cost to the seller from the buyer. Carry math is math done without a calculator and can be done on paper or mentally. There are two regrouping strategies. Carrying is for addition, and it is moving a number from the right side to a higher place of value. And borrowing is for subtraction. It is taking value from a higher place and adding it to a lower place to make a new number. And that's it for me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, can I go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me. Okay. Chivalry is behavior that focuses on respect, honor, and cordial acts between men and women. Examples of chivalrous behavior include being loyal to friends and family, knowing how to defend yourself, respecting women, being respectful to any and everyone, regardless of whether or not you know them, being generous, being kind, lending a hand to those in need, etc. It derives from the French words cheval and chevalier, which means horse and knight. It is a code of conduct that originated in the 11th and 12th centuries of medieval Europe, specifically France. It was a way to separate the nobles from the knights, and it was a way for the knights to, and it was a way for the knights to progress and earn higher positions in the kingdom. However, it was originally created as an elite marital code for the cavalry units, but the cordiality between men and women gained a more romantic connotation. A bank is a government-placed, licensed financial institution that accepts deposits and gives out loans. They also provide things like CDs, IRAs, currency exchanges, safety deposit boxes, private banking, and more. According to what the internet says, banking institutions are ways to keep your money safe. And they claim that the only person who can add or withdraw from your account is you, but that's not true. This is where the term fractional banking comes into play, which is a system that was designed for banks to keep a large portion of deposits from customers as reserves and would hand the rest out as loans. And that was based on the idea that not all depositors would want their money back at the same time. So if I were to be banking with financial institutions, they would have my account numbers, they would have access to how many funds are in my account, and most importantly, they would be able to pull those funds out and give them to other people as loans. So banks aren't a safe place to put your money. A deposit is a specific amount of money that is held within a bank or another type of financial institution. This money can be transferred, withdrawn, or used to make any purchases. There are two important types of deposits. There is a demand deposit and a time deposit. A demand deposit is a regular bank account with a checking and a savings account that you can withdraw your deposit from at any time without notifying the bank. A time deposit is set on a fixed time and people pay a fixed interest rate, kind of like a certificate of deposit. With these types of deposits, you can put it into a savings account that yields interest, which means you can just let it sit in the account and you will leave with a higher amount of money. However, these types of deposits can only sit in the account for a certain amount of time. Carry math is referred to as a process that involves carrying digits from one column to another. This is usually done with 2-digit numbers and more. If the total or the sum of the digits is in one of the columns and is more than 9, that extra digit would be carried to the other side to get the proper calculation. And that's it for me.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go next, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Chivalry. Chivalry is the combination of qualities expected of an ideal knight or person, especially courage, honor, courtesy, justice, and readiness to help the weak. It is commonly stated that chivalry is dead because many times these qualities are not easily found. Bank. A bank is an institution that deals with money and substitutes or provides other money-related services. Its general role is to be a financial intermediary. A bank accepts deposits and makes loans. The banks are generally used as a safe place to put your money in, but as we know, that's not always accurate. Deposits. Deposits are a sum of money placed or kept in a bank account that someone can put in. It is usually placed there to gain interest. Cash funds, which are an alternative to bank or building society deposits. It is also a sum that is payable as a first installment on any purchase of some kind or as a pledge for a contract. And the balance could be paid later. Finally, carry math refers to the process of transferring numbers from one column to the next. This is common in basic arithmetic. Placing the higher value when the sum of digits is in a column and exceeds the base number of 10. For this, you add numbers together by starting with the rightmost digits and working to the left. And yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, excellent job. Thank you so much.
Mr. Lewis, can I go next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A bank is a place where people keep their money safe and can use financial services like saving, borrowing, and investing. Banks allow customers to deposit money, withdraw cash, and even earn interest on savings. They also lend money to people and businesses, charging interest in return. Banks help manage money by providing checking accounts, credit cards, and loans. Without banks, handling large amounts of money will be much harder and riskier. A deposit is when someone puts money into a bank account for safekeeping or future use. People deposit money in checking accounts for everyday spending or in saving accounts to earn interest. Deposits can be made by using cash, checks, or electronic transfers. Businesses and individuals deposit money to keep it secure and easily accessible. The more money someone deposits in their savings account, the more interest they can earn over time. Carrying in math happens when a number is too big for a place value column, so part of it moves to the next column. This is a common in addition when the sum of two digits is 10 or more. For example, in 58 plus 67, adding 8 and 7 gives 15, so you write 5 and carry the 1 to the 10th place. Carrying helps keep calculations organized and accurate. It's an important skill for solving larger math problems quickly and correctly. Chivalry is a code of honor and good behavior, especially in the way people treat others with respect and kindness. It originally came from medieval knights who were expected to be brave, loyal, and protect the weak. Today, chivalry means showing politeness, like holding the door open for someone or standing up for what is right. It's not just about good manners, it's about having strong values and treating people fairly. True chivalry comes from being kind without expecting anything in return. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, is that everybody? Okay. Excellent job, everybody. I definitely like the fact that you went deep on chivalry. I'm going to go a little deeper. And this is for the young men. Your job is going to be a one of detail. And what that means is, first and foremost, you have to have a true understanding of honor. And honor for us, and I say us, is because it's for all men. And the best way for a young man or a little boy to become a young man and then an adult is to understand honor. And this is really something that they do not teach. This is taught by your parents, especially your father, to show you how to treat a woman. You already know my stance on that. But it goes beyond just treating her. It starts with you treating you. Okay, you have to have an understanding that it is your responsibility to uphold honor, regardless of who it is. So, not just a little old lady, it could be a regular, middle-aged, young, whatever. She is always held up here, unless, this is the part where you do diligence, she takes herself from up here and puts herself down here, because they do it. Okay, you have to see both sides. You have to recognize it. But on first encounter, this is always first encounter, you give the utmost respect and then listen. See, so you have to, there's a lot to it. It's a lot more than just opening a door or giving up a seat when the bus is full and she's standing there and you're sitting. You're supposed to stand up and give that seat. Now, the sad part is that the recipients don't understand chivalry. Okay, so I'm talking about my girls over here. Some do, depending on how they're taught at home, what it means. Okay, and it should never be, I'll do this for you, I'll open the door if you give me your phone number or something in return. You are giving, always giving to them. Okay, always. But first to self. So you have to understand what honor is. So let's put that one down. Honor. And then you have to keep yourself in check at all times. Like if someone gets to talking silly, the proper thing to do is just silence. Because the more you say, the more things escalate. And that's even when you start dating with the opposite sex. A lot of times an argument goes south because both are arguing. It just goes up, up, up. Our job is to maintain control at a level position. Always. You're going to run into people which are known as Karens that have a lot to say because they're having a rough life. So they may pick on you. The only time you defend yourself is when someone puts a hand on you. Okay? So self-defense, you're going to need to know that. Not just how to fight, but self-defense. It comes in many different forms. You are automatically put in that spot when you have the care of an individual attached to you, which means if you're dating, don't be silly and pick fights, but you are supposed to protect her at all times, period. Make sure the door's open for her, help her sit down, help her stand up. It's just a simple hand so she can steady herself and stand up. A lot of, like I said, it depends on how she was taught and what her parents know, because they only know what they know, right? So chivalry goes both ways. She's supposed to understand what you're doing when you do it, so that, it's a return thought. It's not, oh, he opened the door because he's trying to get my number, or he's trying to do this, or he's trying to do that. No, it has nothing to do with that. But like I said, all of what they know. So I'm going to help both of y'all because there's more women here than there's guys. So, like I said, it's a reciprocal. He's going to open the door. You just simply walk through it. When you get to the destination, uh, the men are supposed to step out of the car first, open the door, and help her out. Just a simple hand so she can grab hold of it and stand up. Because, like I said before, a lot of times they have on dresses and they have to, you know, come out of the car properly. These are things that you will learn as you move forward, but you have to know where it starts, and it starts with you right now. Honor is the main thing. Being able to assess things, which remember we talked about self-assessment. You have to be able to see where she is, or a woman coming out of the store. If you see a lady walking to the car by herself and she got a whole basket of stuff, which you don't see much anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Simply ask, would you like some help? And if they say yes, thank you, you help them get the stuff in the car, grab the cart and leave. Don't take the tip. A lot of them want to, well, here, let me give you. No, I just want to make sure you got your stuff in the car. I need the cart and going in the store. Okay. These are things that don't happen anymore because everybody's scared of everybody. And this is the way they've set things up to make everybody wow. And that's why they took the control from the parent, where they said, okay, you can't whoop them. You can't correct them. You can't do this and that. And that's why you see these young people that are lost up here, that have none of the words that we've talked about, none of the things that we've talked about do they have up here. So you have an extremely high advantage on them because they don't know this, right? So when they took that control from the parent, the young people basically have no idea how to talk to somebody. That's why they're so rude. That's why they wear their clothes like they do, because they've had no guidance. They had guidance from a rap video or whatever, showing them how they're supposed to act. So why do you think you see it so much? Why do you think you don't see chivalry? Because rap music doesn't teach that. It teaches the exact opposite for both, not just him, her too. So those are a few things. We'll touch on more on chivalry and the things that makes a man as things go forward. But this is a financial call, and one thing I wanted to touch on, well, two things. Bank, I would like for you to change your mindset on that word. Okay, I know it's bank, and I should have made it clear, but that's okay. Bank now is this. Okay, so change your mindset to this as being your bank. Whatever one you have or decide to get, that's your bank. As you both or all of you alluded to, that putting your money in a financial institution, the traditional bank down the street, is not a good idea because they use your finances for other people and other things, as we're finding out with Doge. Okay, a lot of fraud has happened to all of us, not just one or two or a group of people, everybody. They're trying to turn it into a black-white thing. The last video I watched, oh, the black people this and the white people that. We've all been defrauded, everybody. And one of the things that a lot of them do is try to pin a race card to something that when they get caught, they try to spin it another way to put the blame somewhere else, where Elon's team have basically point the finger directly at them. You stole the money, period. Nobody else. But you have people that don't like President Trump, Elon Musk, because they're telling the truth and trying to set things straight. So they say the total opposite thing of what they're doing, and it's all spun up in the air. Due diligence is the best tool I could teach you. Check for yourself. Look at your pay stub when you start working and see if money is not being taken out of your check. Look at what the register says when you go to buy something. You put the money in there or to type in what are you getting, you'll see $6.78. Then when you see the subtotal on the order, it say taxes for this order is this much. You go to the grocery store, if you look at your receipt, excuse me, you look at the receipt at the very bottom, you'll see how much taxes was put on that purchase, okay? Ask mom and dad about property taxes. Money that is taken out of your income more than once is illegal. And that's where a lot of people are twisted up and don't believe it because they've been treated the same way so long that people think it's law. They think it's law because it's happened over and over. Just like I said, when you study something and you study it more than once, or if you make that same, like, I like the one that MJ said about if you tell a lie, you're going to continue lying. You have to. And you'll never remember the first lie that started all the lies. If you say that lie over, you begin to believe it's truth. So that's what they have done. In $1, there's 4 quarters. And this is the way I like to look at it so that you understand how illegal it is. Right? Let's just say you go to work and you earn $1, 4 quarters. That's your pay. 1 quarter is taken for income tax. Okay? Another quarter is taken by taxes of all sorts. We'll just lock them all in one. Property tax, insurance, and taxes that you're paying on the money after you got it. Okay? Another quarter is taken at the end of the year. You have to pay taxes. Now, you've been paying taxes from the very beginning of the dollar. This is the illegal part. You pay taxes on income. You pay taxes on things that you're shopping and what have you, and then you pay tax at the end of the year. Why are you paying again at the end of the year? Didn't you get it the first time and the second time? Those taxes are part of the same tax. So that leaves you 1 quarter. You put it in the bank, and what do? Use it. So how many other quarters do you have? Make sense now? So when you understand how they do, then you understand that it's all fraud. You made 4 quarters. They taxed every one of them. Where's the money that you supposed to have to do the things that you need? It's non-existent. This is why so many people use credit. Okay? Get a credit card. And then you can put fake money out that gets taxed and done the same way. Excuse me. Should have did this at the beginning of the call. My apologies. So when you have a system that is set up to take money away from you more times than you can afford, then you're put in a zero deficit. Then they give you a credit card and say, here, shop with this fake money, because it's fake. Credit is fake. It's money that doesn't even exist. And shop with this. Now, wait, shop, that means there's going to be a receipt created. Tax. Uh-oh, here we go right back into that same process. Taxed. If you're buying something with a credit card that's a luxury item, a motorcycle, you put it on a credit card, that's a luxury tax on top of the tax, sales tax. on a fake money that doesn't exist when you have none to put toward it. So now you're in a double deficit. First, because they taxed all of the money out of your pocket, gave you a credit card of fake hypothecated money, and said you can shop with this, which is another level of debt. So you have two handfuls of debt and no income, or income that they put together for, I think that the current pay is 70, no, 97, 98. They've moved it up a couple times, but if you look at the inflation where our money is versus the income that you are earning, the four quarters, it is still not up to the proper standard. We should be making no less than $50 an hour, no less. And that's the lower end. Then when you got a skill set, you should be in the hundreds, 200s an hour. When you make that kind of money, then you're in balance with this tax thing. But they didn't set it up like that. They set it up for $7.50, $15 and or whatever people are making. Why do they do that? So they could tax you into zero, tax you to nothing. You have no income, you have no self foundation. So we don't put money in regular institutional banks going forward. That's what this class is about, to help you set your foundation. So when you talk about banks going forward, so let today be the last time you do a definition of a bank like that, because the one that you gave is the one down the street. This is the one I want you to have. Put this definition in your file cabinet, because you are going to be the banker. You are going to set the standards of how much, what moves and where it goes and who's able to access it. When you put it in your bank, no one can set it out for a loan. No one can tax it. No one knows it's there. No one can access it but you. This is your bank going forward. No more of that other one. You can use it if you want, but just know you're under the definition that you gave today if you use a bank down the street. Now, I'm going to say this, and I know it's contradictory, but you may still have to use them, but don't deposit to them. You deposit here. Okay, I'm not saying cut out banks completely, because you're going to need them, sort of. But you're going to need them on your standards, not theirs. You're not going to hand over whatever it is that you make and give it to them to do the things that they have already done. Now, supposedly, that practice is supposed to change with Basel III, Basel IV, which means they have to be transparent with all of their transactions. I'll believe that when I see it. Till then, our definition for a bank is this. Okay, you deposit here, you save here, you control here. There's no one else using it. No one else can say, oh, well, somebody got into your account from such and such, and they debited $150. That's the biggest lie you could ever come up with. Now, correct me if I'm not wrong here, and I could be, but if it's a skunk, it stinks. It's not a kitty cat. All right? The bank, when you put the money into the bank, it's in an institution that has social security numbers, it has supposedly firewalls where no one can get into it. You have a bank account number. You have a social security number attached to that bank account. How is it that someone can tap into that account and take money out of it by use of hacking. Now, I want to explain something to you, and probably people will disagree, but disagreement is okay. You still have to do some type of due diligence. You have to understand that you have to look at all the possible ways. If you put the money into a system, they are 100% liable for that deposit. Now, remember when I told you that the bank has access? When you deposit into a bank, you turn over your ownership to them. That's what the deposit is. You relinquish control. You put it in there so they can handle it better than you. That's what a deposit is. You deposit it to a company so that they can use the money and basically shell it back to you when and how they see fit. Okay, that's why you deposit it, so that they can control your money. Now, I want you to take, here's that carry math, and that's the other one I want to touch on. Carry math is using numbers, see them in your head, and add to and subtract from them without paper. When you go in the store, you know you have $100. So as you're shopping, you're adding numbers to your head as to how much you've shopped. So when you get to the register, you're not embarrassed. That's carry math. Carry math also is the definition that you gave, but the one that I'm looking at for you to start practicing is when you shop, you keep a tally of how much you're shopping in your head. So you should see math in your head. I know that's a little deep. We'll touch on that a little later, but I want to get on this bank thing because that's near and dear to my disgust with the institution totally. The years I have had many bank accounts, have a bunch of them now. And over the years, I have always been subject to fraud. Oh, somebody got your account. They shopped up $350. Give us 7 days, we'll fix it. Okay. I have to wait 7 days for you to find out who took it. All right? 7 days. It's always 7 to 14 days. And I picked that up early, like the first time it happened. What do you mean? They got it last night. I should be able to get it back. Oh, we have to investigate. Oh, you have to investigate. And it takes you 14 days to investigate. Yes. Okay. Put up with it, right? Everybody in the country has had the same thing happen to them. Now, I want you to do the carry math. Let's say that ABC Bank has 10,000 people depositing to their account every Friday, payday, right? I'm going to have to get my little assistant here. These numbers are a little large. So 10,000 people depositing, let's say average paycheck today is around $700. All right, that's $7 million in total of all the 10,000 people all over the country or wherever that are depositing to that one bank. Mr. Bank says, oh, okay, we got 7 million in today of deposits. We're going to put 3 million of that into a short-term bullet trade. Huh? I'm sure you're looking like, what is short-term bullet trade? These are financial terms of a transaction that is done in secret on specific platforms. Rice, eggs, oil, gas, whatever. They're real short. They put in a certain amount. They make 100% on what they deposit. 100%. Now, it might be 90-10, depending on what platform it is or what they charge. but it's a bank thing, so they don't get to charge them. Okay, this is the stuff that has been going on in the back with this fractional banking garbage. So if they can take, let's say out of that 7 million, they took 3 million. Let me clear this. So I had 7 million. We're going to take 3 million of that 7, and we're going to multiply it times, oh, they might make $150. And we go equals $450 million. All right? And these are real numbers. Like I said, it's all fraud. It's money that doesn't even exist. So now they've made a 450 million off of that 3 million that they took. Now let's talk about that 3 million. That comes in the form of a fraudulent charge on your account. Okay. And they said, we'll fix it in 14 days or 7 days. 14 was too long. People were tripping. So they knocked it down to 7 days. Oh, we'll get it fixed and find out what happened. And in 7 days, we'll let you know if it was fraud and what have you. All right. The 7 days happens. Now they're making this bullet trade every day for 7 days. Right? So we take that number. Of course, these numbers could be smaller, but in essence, this is what they've done. We multiply that times 7. That's 3,150 million that this bank has made off of these trades in 7 days. Now, that 3B150 is now at their bottom line. That's what that institution made off of all of the people that they took a certain amount and said, oh, give us 7 days, we'll fix it. In 7 days, out of that 3.15, they put your little money back. Oh, we found out that it was fraud and we have made that charge go away. So all of a sudden your 150 or whatever it was replaced. Now, out of that 3,150 million minus your piece that was taken out of your account for 7 days goes to their bottom line. Now that bank can put money into other trades. They can put money into politicians. They can put money into other individuals that are doing dirt. That's fractional banking. That's what they do when they take money out of your account. They say someone hacked your account. No, ma'am, no, sir. That money was entrusted to you. They took it from you. When actually, you took it from me. It's your bank. How did somebody get into your bank on that one time and not all the time? If it was that easy to hack a bank account, why doesn't it happen every week? Why don't they just drain the whole thing? Why does it just take a little bit? Because if you take a little bit, 10,000 times it's not noticed. But if you take a whole lot, by one time, lawyers come out of the walls. That's the deception of a bank down the street. This bank right here will never do that to you. Ever. 2 things right off the top. Number one, it's yours. You own it. You control it. 2, no one can get in it but you, unless you give them the information. Never put your seed phrase online. Never put the password on that online. Email it to somebody. Don't ever do that. Do not ever, ever, ever email, copy and paste the codes to these banks, because that's how you get in it. You are the only person that's supposed to know how to get in this bank. unless mom, let's say dad or mom, got it for you, so they will actually have that information. And then even when you get older, someone should know how to get into this if you go into this 100%, which I hope you do. Get out of the street, the bank down the street. Use them for little stuff. You can put 10, 15,000 in that account, use it for bill pay, if you so choose, if you want to use a bank. But for real deposits, large amounts, here, you control its movement. No one else. They can't give you this flop story. Oh, someone hacked your account in Israel for $300. Give us 7 days, we'll fix it. They're using those monies for 7 days times everybody that they do that to. You can't tell me they're not. Okay? Then you got the whole thing where the president, a couple of them, Obama and Biden, did what they call bank bailouts, where they take your money tax-wise and your savings-wise and take a piece of it and say, we're bailing out the banks. Now they're just telling you, I'm going to rob you right up front, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now they're taking large chunks and do the same scenario, the same process that I just explained to you. They'll put it in trade, only for a short while, make a whole bunch of money, pay a little bit for the person and let them do it. That's called inside trading. They'll tell the bank, okay, well, looks like iron's coming up on this next trade. It's going to be a good trade. All right, put 3 million to the iron. They put the 3 million over there. They make 12 million off of it. They put the 12 million back in their account, and they'll sit there the next day. What's hot? They'll tell them, they'll put a certain amount, then get that. And it's steady building. But you get none of it. Not only do you get none of it, at the end of the year, watch this, you have to pay taxes on the money that they took to bail out the bank. Pure evil. All right. Let me move on, or I'll be on here all afternoon. Another word I want to put in savings. That's also done on here. All right. Next one is crypto debit card. All right, that's your 4 words for next week. Savings is going to be your responsibility. The only person that's going to save it is you. And you need to set up wallets inside of your banks for savings. Do not save or keep large amounts on hot wallets, which are wallets that you use to buy stuff, send this here and there. You might buy a couple coins on there, move those coins to the bank. The bank holds digital currency and cryptocurrency. So when you start buying up a bunch of XRP or whatever it is you're going to get, move them over here. Because remember, nobody can get to what's on here unless you give them permission. But if you keep it on like a Exodus wallet, if you keep it on a Trust wallet, those are hot wallets. Somebody, it's not 100%, but why take the chance? Okay. Large amounts get moved to the banks and stay there. And that's, the same essence of a bank. It's supposed to be a place that you can deposit it and keep it safely. Okay, that's the whole aspect. So crypto debit cards is going to be a deep one next week because I need you to really understand how they work. So do your due diligence on that homework piece. All right, because that's what you're going to be using. So I want you to know exactly what it is, how it is, what it does. All right, so dig deep on that one. I think I have talked enough this morning. Any questions?
Mr. Lewis, I have two questions. One, you said there were four words. I think I'm missing one. I have honor savings and crypto debit card. Was there another one?
Nasara.
Nassara. Okay. And my second question is, I want to go back to when you were talking about President Trump and Elon Musk. What do you think about Neuralink, which is a company owned by Elon Musk? Do you trust him? Because he's kind of, you know, questionable in my
Eccentric.
opinion.
Well, again, it's difficult to say trust because the word trust means a lot. So I don't trust anyone, literally. I don't care what their name is. You have to earn that from me. And how a person earns trust from me is to be honest and upright standing. What are they doing? How did they do it? Did it affect me? Was it detrimental to others? So trust and trusting are two very deep words. And I hope and pray that all of you use it sparingly. Um, do I trust Elon? I would say kind of. And the reason why I say that is because he's very eccentric on the point that he's moving way fast, way, way fast. His stuff is deep because it's intellectual. He's always been that way, so that's not nothing new about Elon. He likes fairness to a point. Like I said, we can only see what he's putting up. If you look at the cell phone that he's bringing out, beats all of these things for 176 or some, real small amount. He wants you to have technology at your fingertips without stripping your entire wallet to get it. These guys, like I said, this phone was $1,800. Not bragging, just saying. Yes, it's a fold phone and all that. That's great. But did it have to be that expensive when the phone actually costs $7 to make? Where's all this added in? So Elon is along the lines of let everybody eat cake. Okay. So to say trust him, I'll say I stand with him. Trust you have to earn from me. I want to see what his next move is with this whole Doge thing. How far is he actually going to go? He's already gone so far that he's a complete target. So his honor is out there. So he put himself out there. What happens next will let me know if I can trust him or not.
Okay, I kind of want to follow up on that because um my thing is with your technology stance is I feel like he's leaning more on the side of technology being a problem rather than it helping humanity. I mean, he's the reason why he's one of the very many reasons why AI is so advanced and why we have a lot of kids walking around depending on a robot to do their homework for them. He's one of the founding fathers of these advancements that we see today. And I when you said that his honor is being
Tested.
questioned or
Mhm.
tested. I don't necessarily see Elon Musk as an honorable man. I mean, he has 1,000 children, 600 baby mothers. I don't see that as honorable. And I just feel like he's leaning more towards the problematic side of humanity. And plus, he's one of the richest men in the world, but he's receiving so much funding. But you said that he is on the side of wanting everybody to have their cake and eating it as well.
Mhm.
I I'm not sure if I see that from my own personal point of view.
Mhm. Well, again, that's what discussion is about. Like I said at the very beginning of this course or this class or whatever you want to call it, is I don't know everything. And when you discuss, you put points of views or points of opinion out, and then you receive it. This is why we start doing the homework, because I want to hear from you. I want to see what your input is, because I don't know everything. I will never know everything. But conversation is healthy because it allows you, and this is my favorite, it allows you to express. I want you to talk. I want you to do your due diligence, check out things, look at it from your point of view, and then come in the middle and have a discussion. Are you going to, do I want you to believe everything and go by everything I say? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I do want to bring things to you that you may not get in school, bring things to you that you may not get in regular conversation with your peers, bring things to you that I have personally gone through. Now, like I said, I'll trust anybody until you prove to me that I cannot. As a man, don't know him. As a individual that is supposedly looking out for humanity, that's in the works. Like you said, he's the founder of AI. I believe that AI was here long before him. See, what we don't know, and they have hidden from us purposely. This is where conversation gets deep. When you make a statement like that, and then you look at the different things that they couldn't hide, like a pyramid, okay? And you start doing due diligence on look up pyramid. Look, that's that's extracurricular. This is where things get deep. There's a lot of information, a huge amount of information that has been hidden from humanity, not people or certain groups of people. When you say things like this, the first thing people put on it is race. No, babies. A lot of information has been hidden from humanity, that we have connections to extraterrestrial. You cannot tell me that that is not true. If you just look, if you just pay attention to Gaia itself, look at the formations on it, Earth. If you look at some of the formations on it, if you if it were truly available for you to go look up, you would find that we had connections to the people out there. And technology has been here ever since in every aspect, but hidden from us. There's gates, there's portals that they have used, there's time travel that they have used already. Okay? They've already used it. It's here, has been here, but they hide it. There are certain places like the top of the world that you cannot go look at. You can't fly over it. They will not allow you. Why? Why? They make you fly around, go around, don't go over. If you fly over the top of the North Pole, they will shoot you down. Why? What are you hiding? So, like I said, this can get deep. There are certain things that are hidden from us on purpose, but AI, it was already here. It's now being let out for us to see it. And he just happens to be one of, he's not the only, one of many that have brought forth AI, as we call it. It's something else, actually. But again, there's a lot of background and things on humanity itself that they have kept from us on purpose to keep you dumb. Why do you think you only use this part of your brain? It's about the size of an egg. You have a whole brain, but you're only using this part of it. Why is that? They turned all the rest of this off. How they did it? AI. Some people get to use more of it. We call them certain things like savants. What's the other one? Prodigies. People that excel almost supernaturally. Those are people that are using more of the brain. Okay, imagine using the entire thing. You would be able to levitate, go to places without any engineering. Just think about it and be there. It's possible. That's the gravity of it. Like I said, this conversation can get real deep, but like I said, as far as Elon, I trust him as far as I can see what he's doing. I don't love him. I don't put him on a pedestal. He's still a man just like me. There's no, starstruck thing. No. He puts his pants on just like I do. Same with President Trump. Prove to me that what you say and do is real. That's as far as I can go on that one.
So with your stance on Elon Musk and not trusting him, what do you think about his company Neuralink?
Well, it's going to bring out some of what I was just speaking on. So Neuralink is, a form of waking up the brain, tapping into the abilities that we already have, just don't know about, just like being taught how to do this banking and where money came from and how you work with it. It's how I would say it's a necessary thing to regain where we have allowed ourselves to go astray. Let's say that Neuralink gives you the ability to become a surgeon in 6 weeks versus 4 years of college, hundreds of millions of dollars of whatever. If you think about what's the movie? Neo, in the gang. Matrix. If you think about the Matrix, that's using a more dramatic form where they sticking this thing into your neck and all that. It wouldn't be like that. It would be an actual download that you can receive. Remember, we do have electricity in our bodies. We still don't know the body. And I'm pretty sure there's a way to receive a vibration, which if you know my second talent, which is energy healing, that's sending a vibration through the phone, through Gaia, through my feet to your feet. And I can help you manipulate certain things. We can do bigger things when you understand how to do it. So will he be one of the people that help people open those channels up? I hope so. To make us more aware of what we're not using, or it could be something else. Again, you have to allow people to do things, and then you make your decision whether or not to trust that person or if they're a viable person and what they're doing. Due diligence. Stand in the background, keep an eye on them. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm watching both of them. What are they doing? How are they doing it and why are they doing it? Is it actually going to affect me in a positive or negative way? So it's a lot of give and take. So you just have to take it one day at a time and just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and speak on it. This is my favorite thing. Don't be quiet. I want you to speak. So, Jaden, love it. Speak. Always do your due diligence. Check on things. Ask questions. That's where it happens. If you don't ask anything or don't say anything, you're going to stay in this portion. You're not going to grow. It's going to stay right here. And you'll be like 90% of the adults. Go to work, come home, pay the bills. Go to work, go home, pay the bills. They're not really living or didn't live over the course of time because they had their thumbs. The people over here in DC got the thumbs on them. You can only do certain things. You can only have 1 week of vacation. You can only work this many hours. You can only have this much an hour. You're going to give me taxes. You're going to give me this. You're going to give me control of your life so I can tell you what to do, when to do it. Right?
Right. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Absolutely. Anytime. Any other question?
Well, this is more of a statement, but I do think that we should be more careful with not only Neuralink, but all of these new advancements, these technological advancements that are coming out. I think it's important to be aware because that's the most powerful place you can be in life, is it a place of awareness. And I think that people should do their due diligence and look more into Neuralink, because I don't really think that it's meant to enhance our thinking.
Well,
I think it's meant to dumb us down.
I tell you what, let's both do it. Let's do a due diligence on Neuralink. And that'll be extra for next week. Anybody else that wants to jump on it. Find out as much as you can on it. What is it? What does it do? What is its purpose? Due diligence. Ask all the questions to yourself what you would ask Elon if he was sitting in front of you. And then pretty much do a understanding on the whole company. So you just basically pull up Neuralink and then, or you could put it into I guess it's not going to be in the dictionary. So you would only be able to go on Google and do your research. You could put it in Chat GPT. It'll give you a breakdown on Neuralink, what it knows. So let AI tell on itself or on him. And then we'll meet back on Saturday after we do our forewords. We'll all come up or express what you found out. How about that?
That sounds perfect. I'll do it.
We'll do it. So you and I and any of the rest of you that want to jump in on that extra curriculum word, it's Neuralink, Elon's company. One of. But I also would say to look at Elon and think about it. He's the most paid man on the planet. Why? Simply because he took a bunch of companies and took them to the ceiling quietly. That's called having multiple streams of income, which you will have. You will be able to experience it at a lower level, but you'll still be in that same mindset. This is why it's important that we have our systems set up so that you don't lose any of what is going to be generated for you. Okay, so awesome job. Thank you. Any other questions before I open it up? Well, alrighty then. You can open up and say good afternoon. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Good
you.
afternoon, Mr. Lewis. Thank you.
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
Mr.
Mr. Lewis.
Lewis.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lewis.